Back with you on Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com. Locked On Sports Atlanta needs to go into your search browser, and when you find our page, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment there. Free and available on all your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. 5-star review is there. Give me a follow on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Braves get things cranked up here as the quote-unquote second half of the season gets underway, although the Braves are 56-38, so we're well past the actual halfway point of the season. But we've talked before about how when we get into early August, because starting August 4th, the Braves will have a 5-game stretch. That's right, 5 games against the Mets. And then in the middle of the month, the 15th through the 18th, the Braves have another 4-game stretch. So from August 4th to August 18th, the Braves are going to play the Mets 9 times. Okay? Now, I do firmly believe, obviously, that is where the division is really going to try to get settled. But leading up to that, starting tonight, and then all the way up to August 3rd, the final game that they'll play against Philadelphia. We'll talk about that here in just a second. The Braves have a 3-game series against the California Angels, and I call them the California Angels. I don't care if you like it or not. I grew up as the California Angels. Gene Autry named them that. I'm going to name them that. They have 3 games in Philadelphia, 3 games at home with Arizona, and then a 2-game set at home with Philadelphia before they head to Gotham for that 5-game set. Now, when you look at the standings right now, obviously the Braves themselves are sitting 2.5 games back. So through all the different kinds of machinations and stuff like that over the last couple of weeks after that big long winning streak the Braves had, the division has stayed pretty flat and pretty quiet. But this is a real chance, even before you get to being up in New York for 5 games, that you can either really make sure that you make some hay in the division, or at least keep everything close to the vest and keep everything where it is, so that you know going into the Mets series that that division can turn during that series. You're playing some really bad teams, okay? The Angels right now are 39-53. They don't have Mike Trout. I understand tonight's a fantastic matchup, right? Morton against Ohtani, right? Ohtani's, one of the great stories and great players in baseball, MVP last year. So the coolness effect is there. But the Angels in reality are not a good baseball team. They've gotten very little offensive production. Trout is out. Rendon's been a disaster. Ohtani's got really good numbers, but he's not enough to carry that team by itself. So you can certainly make some hay here at home against the Angels. And then you had 2 Philadelphia. Then we talked about 2 at home with Philadelphia. So 5 games against the Phillies. I know the Phillies are above 500, but you are 4-3 against the Phillies this year. And let's be realistic. They don't have Bryce Harper right now. They're not the same team. If you go look at their run record-wise, a lot of their guys have not performed since Harper has been out, and he's not going to come back anytime real soon. So there's a real chance to either knock the Phillies out of this thing, which is realistic because you start beating up on the Phillies and that season goes sideways, they're going to be out of it. But more importantly is that you beat one more team in your division that doesn't make it feel like that they can come and try to move up on you. You don't want to narrow that gap between you and Philadelphia. There's a nice separation between the Braves and Philadelphia right now. 6 games between the Braves and Phillies right now. Braves are 2.5 out of the division lead. Phillies are 8.5 games out of the division lead. So you beat them up, and you've already, at least handled your business against them so far this season. And then you get the low-life, dirtbag, fleabag Arizona Diamondbacks, who are 40-52. As crazy as it is, they have one more win than the California Angels do this year. They're a last-place team. Now, we'll talk more about this here in just a second, but want to talk to you about my folks over at Built Bar, Built.com. Built Bar, man, listen, they sent us a care package here last week, I guess it was. And when I tell you, I wanted to try, I'm not a s'more guy, right? So I'm not big on s'mores. I think making s'mores and eating them, I think, is for 9-year-olds, right? But I wanted to try the s'more Built Bar. And, of course, the puff, right? The marshmallow puff, the protein-infused marshmallow, the puffs that they have. Love the puffs, love the concept of it. I tried that s'more. Can I tell you, like, I am sold on it? that made me want to go out and cook some s'mores to it. I love the s'more flavor. I love just the taste of it, the flavor, and the mix of the chocolate and the marshmallow and everything along with it. I can't recommend enough the s'more. And I've tried a few different ones. Look, the new flavor out right now is the coconut brownie chunk, right? That's the new one, coconut brownie chunk. It's great too. Tried that one the other day as well. But I got to tell you, I love the s'more. I want you to go to built.com, okay? Built.com is your place to go. Check out all of their line of protein bars. Again, the puffs, which are the protein-infused marshmallows out there. You're going to love the selection that they have out there. I highly recommend the s'mores out there. But here's what we got going on, okay? You're going to go around and say, man, I got to get an order of some of this stuff. I got to put some of this stuff together, right? Go to built.com. Put your order together. When you get to the checkout, I want you to use LOCKED15, LOCKED, the number 1, the number 5, LOCKED15 as the promo code at checkout. LOCKED15, and you're going to get 15% off of that order. 15% off of your order at built.com when you use the promo code LOCK15. Put your order together, head there today, and I highly recommend the s'mores puffs out there. Trust me. I'm a guy who hasn't missed a whole lot of meals and tried a lot of different things. You're going to enjoy that immensely. Now, again, as we said, this is a real chance for the Braves to catch some ground and make up some ground against the New York Mets. And while I understand it's only 2.5 games, you really don't want to make this thing where you get on any sort of extended losing streak, right? And you find yourself in a position where you're having to win a whole bunch of games against the New York Mets. Now, what's good for the Braves in this stretch as well is the Mets starting tonight. They have a home series against the San Diego Padres and a home series against the New York Yankees. So 3 at home with San Diego, 2 at home with the New York Yankees. Well, the Yankees have been the best team in baseball thus far. San Diego is still one of the best teams in the National League, okay? They're 10 games above 500, been pretty average in their last 10, 4-6 in their last 10. And then the Mets get back to playing all the dirt bags of the world. The Marlins, the Nationals, 3 in Miami, 3 in Washington before they play the Braves. So this is a chance, again, for the Braves to really squeeze. We talk about when you're in Major League Baseball, you have to look at the schedule in terms of little chunks and bits and bites and things like that. And the Braves have a chance that, who knows? Look, Mets don't take care of their business, and Scherzer's going to start tonight. Mets don't take care of their business against San Diego and New York. This division could start to flip a little bit because I do think the Braves will handle the Angels. They'll certainly handle the Fleabag Arizona Diamondbacks. And I think as long as they can, stay above, 5 games, if you go 3-2 against the Phillies, I'll take that. Because that puts Phillies even behind another game, behind you or what have you. So this, again, is another good stretch for the Atlanta Braves to both make up a little bit of ground, keep pace in the division, and then get yourself ready. Because I'm telling you, that series in August, to me, we talk about pendulum shifts and things like that here on the show. That, to me, that 9 games that they play through the early and middle part of August is really going to say a lot about the division, because you're going to have 9 games against the Mets in a very short amount of time, right? It's going to be a whole bunch. When you have a 5-game series against one team on the road, brother, that's big in baseball. And again, because of the shortened spring and the condensed schedule and blah, 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 you have all these weird kind of scheduling quirks that are going to happen. And that's where the Braves are. 9 games starting on August 4th through just, not quite the end of the month, but through the middle of the month. But this stretch right now, where you have an opportunity to get yourself and to make some hay against, let's face it, some low-life teams and some teams that are not really in it. And again, a team like Philadelphia that doesn't have their superstar player. The Angels don't have their superstar player. You've got 3, 6, 8, 11 games before you see the Mets, that it's another chance to get yourself on a good winning streak. All right, when we come back, this is all part of the plan. I'll explain what I mean next. It's Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked on Sports Atlanta.